This is the story of a man who rose from the narrow streets of Lyari to become a symbol of fear across Karachi. His name was Abdul Rehman Baloch, but the world knew him by another name, Rehman Dakait, a name that echoed through Karachi like a warning, a name associated with death, loyalty, and power. His journey began in one of the oldest and most neglected areas of Karachi, Lyari, a place of culture, poverty, and crime intertwined. Young Rehman grew up witnessing violence as a normal part of life. Gangs controlled the streets long before his rise. But Rehman wasn't just another street boy. He had ambition, he had anger, and he had a dream to take control of Lyari. His early years were full of petty crimes, theft, street fights, and small-time smuggling. But soon, he entered the world of organized crime, a world far more violent than he ever imagined. Rehman joined the old Lyari gangs. It was here that he learned the rules of power. Power comes from fear. Fear comes from control. Control comes from violence. These ideas shaped his entire life. As the gang wars intensified, Rehman's reputation also grew. He became known for his fearlessness and for his brutality. He was a man who never backed down. Slowly, he built his own loyal crew. These men would later become the backbone of his criminal empire. Rehman's gang specialized in extortion. They collected money from businesses across Lyari. They controlled the drug trade. They controlled the gun flows. They began kidnapping for ransom. The money poured in, and with money came influence. Politicians started noticing him. Some feared him, some needed him. Lyari had always been politically sensitive, and Rehman knew this. He positioned himself as a protector of the people. Many residents began to see him as a Robin Hood, someone who helped the poor when no one else did. He funded marriages, he distributed money, he offered protection. It was a strange duality, a criminal feared by the city but loved by his neighborhood. But every empire has a rival, and for Rehman, that rival was Arshad Papu. Their rivalry turned Lyari into a war zone. Bodies fell on both sides, streets became battlefields, innocent people suffered. Karachi police struggled to control the violence. Rehman and Papu fought for total dominance. The gang war shaped the next decade of Lyari's history, and it cemented Rehman's image as a ruthless warlord. The police began hunting him. He was arrested multiple times, but he always found a way out. His connections were strong. His influence was powerful and his followers were loyal. In 2006, he reportedly escaped from custody. This escape increased his myth even more. People started calling him unstoppable, untouchable. But Rehman wasn't just a gangster anymore. He was evolving into a political weapon. Political groups saw him as a tool, a man who could mobilize street power and control entire areas. Rehman used this to strengthen his empire. He expanded his operations beyond Lyari. His influence reached other parts of Karachi. His financial network grew rapidly. He became one of the most powerful crime bosses in Pakistan, but power creates enemies, and Rehman had many. Rival gangs wanted him dead. The police wanted him captured. The intelligence agencies monitored him. The government debated how to deal with him. Some believed he should be eliminated. Others believed he could be controlled. Rehman, however, trusted no one. He lived his life constantly ready for an attack. In Lyari, children grew up hearing stories about him. Some feared him, some idolized him. He became a legend in his own lifetime, a symbol of resistance for some, a symbol of destruction for others. But deep inside, Rehman knew his end was coming. No gangster lives forever. Every king eventually falls. And Rehman's fall came in 2009. On a hot Karachi night, intelligence reports tracked his movement. The police prepared for a deadly encounter. The Special Investigation Unit was deployed. Their mission was clear: capture or kill. The convoy moved silently through the city. Rehman was traveling with his men. They didn't expect an ambush. They didn't know death was waiting. The police team surrounded his vehicle. A fierce gunfight erupted. Bullets filled the night air. Rehman's men fired back. The battle was short but intense. When the smoke cleared, Rehman lay dead, shot multiple times. His loyal men also died beside him. The police announced the operation as a major success. Karachi reacted with shock. Lyari reacted with silence. Some celebrated his death. Others mourned deeply. Many refused to believe it. Rumors spread quickly. Was it a real encounter? Was it a political assassination? Was he betrayed by someone close? No one knew the full truth, and the truth remains hidden even today. But one thing was certain: Rehman Dakait's death changed Lyari forever. His gang fractured. His followers looked for new leadership, and that leadership eventually emerged in the form of Azar took control of the remnants of Rehman's empire. Under him, the gang transformed. It became more organized, more political, more dangerous, but it also carried Rehman's legacy. His legacy of fear, his legacy of power, his legacy of bloodshed. His name still echoes in Karachi's crime history. Even today, people in Lyari remember him. Some call him a hero, others call him a monster. His story divides opinions, but it remains unforgettable. The truth is complicated. Rehman was both a product of his environment and a creator of chaos. He rose from poverty, but he embraced violence. He protected some, but destroyed many. He fought for power, but power consumed him. He trusted loyalty, but loyalty failed him in the end. His story teaches a harsh lesson. Crime may bring power, but it never brings peace. Fear may control people, but it never creates true respect. Violence may build an empire, but it destroys the man who builds it. Rehman lived like a king, but died like every other gangster, alone, hunted and surrounded by bullets. His death did not end the violence. Instead, it opened a new chapter. Lyari continued suffering, new factions emerged. Wars began, but people paid the price, just as they had for decades. The cycle of violence continued, and his name became part of urban folklore, a dark legend carved into Karachi's memory. Today, Rehman's story is studied by crime historians and analyzed by police investigators. His rise shows how poverty fuels crime. His power shows how politics can empower criminals. His death shows how every empire collapses, and his legacy shows how violence leaves permanent scars. He may be gone, but the impact of his reign lives on. His story is not just about crime. It is about the failure of systems, failure of society, failure of governance, failure of justice. Rehman did not exist in isolation. He was a product of circumstances that still exist today, and that means new Rehmans can still rise, unless change comes. This documentary is not just about the past, it is a warning for the future.